Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. I hope you're all well. Um, Today, I feel that it's important to sort of take that time to look at what is important to you. Now, I feel for many people, what matters more than anything is connection with others. So it's that sense of togetherness and unity. Somebody who gets you, understands you, appreciates you, and can connect with you deeply. For many people, we can have lots of friendships and relationships, and we can feel that, we've got everything we need, we should need, and yet it can all feel very superficial. It can feel surface level. It can feel very, very almost thin. And I feel that for most people, if they're truly honest with themselves, if they take that time to stop and ask themselves, what is it that I need? What do I really, really desire here? If I could change anything, if I could have anything, what would it be that I would be searching for within my friendships, my connections, and relationships? And I feel that, as I say, that is a deep bond. It is a deep connection. It is a coming together of souls on a level that is just so powerful that it blows your mind. And I know for many of you, you might be telling yourself that this isn't an option, it's not possible. People don't go that deep, people don't connect like that. Okay, some people don't, some people are very much afraid of that. And that might be yourself. You might be sat there thinking, oh well, no, I don't feel comfortable going into those depths and those realms. But there comes a time in life, I feel, where we all must challenge ourselves. We must take that time for self-love, self-reflection, appreciation, understanding. And it's inner healing. It's, if any of you ever done shadow work and taken the time to go deep within to, uncover some of those layers we've been discussing recently, in doing that, you find what it is that you're actually really searching for at the end of the day. And I think that is so important, because we can all just live on this autopilot lifestyle. We can just get on with what we think we should be doing and what's expected of us. But if we've never truly stopped to look and to feel and to just know what it is we need, then how can we ever expect for another person to be able to come and offer that, or support us with that, or fulfill us in any way? And I know that, many of you will have heard the fact that happiness is an inside job, and that is so true. Don't be expecting somebody else to solve your life and fill the void, because that is putting so much pressure and, intense strain on that connection with that person. You are setting such high expectations, which it's cruel really to the other person, because there's no way they can fulfill that. Absolutely not, and they shouldn't have to. But I do feel that it is so significant that you both need to be working at this. You both are there to support each other. So yes, happiness is an inside job, but that doesn't mean that that's it and that's where it ends. When you meet that right person, when you can find a space that feels safe enough to just be open and vulnerable and intimate with that person, to get rid of all of those guards and all of those layers, then that takes it to another level yet again. So it's not just about happiness being the inside job, it's about other things complementing, other people complementing your happiness, making it even better, taking it to another level, and you doing the same for them as well. But if we are unwilling to do the hard work for ourselves at the beginning, if we are not willing to go deep, to take that time for self-love and to do the hard work, to face things that maybe do feel frightening and painful, then how can we ever expect them to be able to match us at that stage in the future? It won't work. I feel that, you will receive what you are open to receiving. So if, say, you met somebody down the line who is just so open, so loving, all they want is connection and communication and a real deep understanding with you, and they just open up their heart and their soul to you and bear it all, and there's this real sense of togetherness, you are not going to receive them truly, authentically, comfortably if you have not done those things for yourself, you are probably, chances are, you will feel overwhelmed, you'll feel guarded, you'll almost be stunned and shocked that somebody can have that authenticity to a point that it's so pure, it's so bright, and it's so light that it might make you feel uncomfortable, it might alarm you, it might make you feel just a little uneasy because it is so beautiful. And I know that sounds sort of wrong because how can something so pure, so beautiful be something we should be afraid of or maybe afraid of? Well, it's because it's not comfortable, it's not the norm, it's not natural for us as a being if we have not been through that journey ourselves. It's almost as if it's this foreign body, it's something that's come from another world, and it can feel quite surreal, and yeah, it can just catch us off guard. So if you want to be open to receiving that kind of level of relationship and connection in the future, that sort of intimacy and union, then you need to do some of that for yourself. You need to have grounded yourself in your thoughts, in the ideas that you want for your life. You need to have worked on your emotions. You have to have had taken time for self-love, for personal discovery and growth. And then, when you have come to terms with all of your baggage and all of your past and how you are in the present, then you are open and you are ready to receive somebody else's wonderful, warm, bright light. And also, too, you are in a far greater position to be able to share your own, which means you're being authentic, you are unguarded, you are being true to your soul. And the right person will see that. They will recognize that you are shining your light bright and it's you. You are pure. You know, there's no mask there anymore. There's no facade. There's no hiding behind your emotions. And please don't feel that going through all of that darkness. And some of you might have some really, really dark, heavy, emotional stuff to go through there. Please don't feel that that's pointless, because it isn't. It is so valid. It is vital for you to be able to move up to the next level. Absolutely, without doubt. It is the stage of transformation. And once you've come through that, you will feel a million times lighter. You will feel more connected with your soul and who you truly are. And as I say, you know, your own values, your own desires, your own needs as a human being and as a soul. So please take the time to look at factors in your life that are working, that are not working, that perhaps worked in the past. Think about what it is you really want for the future. And, you know, don't just settle for less than you deserve, please. You deserve so much. You are fantastic. You are a fabulous human being and you are a fantastic, wonderful soul. Set your bar high for yourself. Know that you can get anything you want, and you know you deserve it. And I don't mean that in a sort of materialistic, egotistical way. We're not being sort of brash here. It's about how it feels in here and about how you live from that heart space. So your heart and your soul already know what it is you need. It's a case of tuning in with that. And if you're just sort of swamped under all these emotions and all this junk, and you're just living life on autopilot, and you're burying your head beneath the sand, and you're just riding away with the current mindlessly, you're not tuning into that. You're not doing the hard work. And yes, it's uncomfortable, and that quite often can be really off-putting, especially if we try and then we feel, oh, I don't like this. It's really making me feel uneasy, and I'm coming away feeling a bit upset or a bit intense or irritable, and that is perfectly normal. But that means it's working. That means it's progress. It means you are slowly uncovering some of those emotions, and it's important to feel those, even if it does feel tough. Please do it. Because if, say, you meet this person in the future, and they are in a position where they've done all that and they are comfortable just exploring their emotions, and sitting with how they feel, and perhaps hopefully sharing how they feel. Well, if you have never done that yourself, and then they come to you with something really quite big, and it could be disturbing, or it could just be really sensitive and emotional and powerful. If you yourself have never done that for you, how then do you support them with that? Their weight, they might not see it as a weight. They might see it as, right, I'm in a better place in my life and I'm feeling free and ready to just share and just connect with somebody, and be intimate and explore our feelings and our emotions and our desires. they might be comfortable and at ease, but if you're not, if them doing that is making you take a step back and it's freaking you out and it's panicking you because you're not used to it, then that's not going to be in alignment. It's not going to feel comfortable. It's going to feel edgy. It's going to feel like a bit of a rough, tense ride. And you might just think, this is too much. I can't go to those places yet. I'm sorry. Or perhaps I don't want to. But the thing is, the truth of all souls here is we are here to learn and uncover all of this. We are here to get rid of all these layers of masking tape. It's literally, we're almost like mummies. We have wrapped ourselves up in bandages. We have protected ourselves so many times that really we have no idea who we are underneath. And now it is a crucial time to be getting rid of all of that, to be going deep, to be taking a good look at yourself, to be really sitting with yourself and feeling it. And as I've said before, taking the time in nature, taking the time to be near water, just having some time to listen to music, or just having the fresh air, having some still time, some self-love on your own. It is a must, because that will get you to a point, and I'm not saying it's going to be quick or easy, but over time it will get you to a point where you yourself are comfortable with how you feel in the present moment, in the here and now, and also how you feel with where your life has been, your journey so far, where you've come from, things that have happened along the way. And also it brings you out of fear for the future, because you're not worrying about that. You're not stressing out about the connections with other people and what's going on there. You are comfortable with the now, and because of that you will be comfortable with the future, and you're in a flow state where you're happy and open to receive the future as it should unfold. um so please really think about that, about what it is you want from a relationship. And that could be a romantic relationship, it could be a friendship. Have a think, even your children, have a think about what sort of future you would like to have with them in the future. And again, if you with your children are guarded and you're not really showing the full you, and how you process your emotions, then that's showing them the same. And then you're setting off that example that we all must be guarded and keep everything close and not expose our true selves and not connect and never get to that point of unity and deep connection. And that is so sad, because as I say, this is something that we are working towards as souls. And in spirit we are so connected. It's just so powerful, it's intense. It's like I've said before about this invisible web, these connections joining us all together. We are so multifaceted, we are connected on so many different levels as soul, spirit, and yet in the human form we are so detached. We are, we avoid each other, we wear these masks, we suppress our emotions, we hide constantly out of fear, because vulnerability makes us feel uncomfortable. And in truth, if ever you've been in a position where perhaps you've been talking with someone and they've just said something that has made you think, that's a bit deep, or it's just shocked you, it's almost startled you, and you've not really known how to respond. Perhaps you haven't responded, you've been a bit overwhelmed or just stunned by what they've said. And that could be something about their own feelings, or it could have been something towards yourself, and yet you've gone like this, you've retracted, you've blocked it, you've blocked that energy field, because that is alarming. It's like alarm bells going off. Well, we need to work at getting used to those alarm bells. We need to get used to breaking down the barriers, getting rid of the walls, and allowing that free flowing energy to come between our heart spaces, between ourselves and another person. And excuse me, you feel with certain people when they're guarded, you can be talking to somebody and you just feel that instant disconnect, and you think they're not really listening, or they're not revealing their full true self or their energy. There's some sort of invisible protection there, and it's such a shame. And I can see why people do it, because that is safe. If they've got this barrier around themselves, that keeps them safe, protected, and they never have to step out onto the ice where it could be slippy and it could be dangerous. But living your life from a place that is always at arm's length, always guarded and always separated, there's no power there. There's no true sense of soul. It is a sort of surface level connection. It is a superficial a situation where you are basically lying to yourself, Okay, it's easy and it means that you can go from day to day very quickly, but it's not deep and it's not a soulful connection. And as I said at the beginning here, I feel that if we're being truly honest with ourselves, the one thing we desire more than anything in life is deep understanding and connection. It's when somebody just knows you and can understand everything about you without you even opening your mouth at times. Sometimes it's in the eyes, sometimes it's in the body language, sometimes it's here in the heart. And it's just a clear knowing that they get me, they understand me. And when you feel that with somebody, when you sense and know that they are there, you trust them. You trust them with anything and everything, and then your heart is open, you are free, and that just allows that energy to flow and exchange even more. It becomes so beautiful and so connected and so deeply bonded. So please work on this business of guarding, of keeping it at your arm's length, of not going into that dangerous slippery ice. Please take some time to practice skating on the ice. Take some time for self-reflection, for inner healing, and for self-love. It is so, so important. Um, yeah, and we all at some point will meet a person, even if it is just simply a friend or a family member or a loved one, who allows us to come in, and that can be an absolute game changer. It is such an eye opener, and it's such a visceral thing as well. It's just a feeling, and it's almost as if you have penetrated their soul, you have been allowed access, and you have gone in so deep. And you might feel that you know things about them that perhaps you shouldn't, or it's just a bit like, oh, goodness me, like, and you just know things. But trust and understand that if you know those things, it's not that you've gone in there like a spy or a ninja and, you're sneaking around somewhere that you shouldn't, you're finding out things you shouldn't. It's not that at all. It's the fact that their soul and their sense of being in the heart space is open to you. They are open to you receiving that information. And so going back to what I was saying before, if you reverse that and you swap that round and imagine that that person is guarded and is closed off and hasn't taken the time to uncover some of their own rubbish, their own baggage and congestion, then there's absolutely no chance of their heart space and their soul ever being fully, truly, authentically open to you. Absolutely not, because they're going to be protecting themselves, they're going to be staying safe, they're going to be at arm's length, at a distance. And that is such a shame if you, on the other hand, know that it could be the alternative, which is absolute mind-blowing bliss of deep inner connection. Yeah, I hope at some point in your life you will experience that feeling, and some of you will have done already, especially if you're twin flames. You know it. It is such a deep, visceral feeling, and it is powerful, it is intense. And obviously, with that comes a lot of pain, because there are times when you want to reach out more than anything in the world, and you feel that you can't. It's, perhaps not an appropriate time, or even then you're afraid of letting them know that you feel all of this. And especially if it is something that is, as I say, a visceral thing, and you just feel it and you know it, and you don't even perhaps understand it. You don't know why you know it and feel it. It can be confusing for yourself, it can be quite painful and distressing. But believe me, if you're feeling that, if you are feeling that deep core energy and transmission of information, or even emotions, perhaps you're tuning into how they're feeling on that particular day, and without them even saying a word, perhaps you haven't even looked at each other, perhaps you've not even met this person yet, but you know them in the spirit realms, and you know something about their feelings that day and their emotions. You have tuned in and you do not know how, but you know it. Well, trust me, they are feeling exactly the same. They are open to you, they are tuning in with your emotions, they are feeling that same huge, intense, almost painful desire to come forward to reach out to you. Because the simple fact is, you would not be able to receive it from them if they did not have their heart and their soul open to give out and transmit that information to you. So it works both ways. And for you to then share your feelings with them so that they can receive, you have to be in that place of openness. So to move on from being unguarded, to stop suffering in silence, now is just such a massive time for coming out of our shells, for releasing the masks, taking away the fear, doing the hard work. Yes. Stop this every single day, just getting up, going to work, going through the motions and coming home, going to sleep, doing it all again. Get in touch with who you are and what it is you need. It's a powerful time for change and transformation and growth. And if we ignore that, if we choose to just squash and suppress all of those feelings inside ourselves, if we don't take the time in nature to connect, which allows us to open up to us and our higher self and what the higher self is trying to communicate, then we're just going to keep going through the motions. We're scamping on the hamster wheel for year after year after year, and we're never getting any further forward. And basically, if you think of the universe and the stars and the planets and the moon, and think of all the tiny sparks of light and energy that are bouncing around all the time, and how beautiful it is. It's almost like fireworks going off. It is magical. And for the soul, that's what the soul realms are like. It's if you're not incarnate, or you're just in the higher realms, it is magical. It is deeply connected. It's just a point of pure love and bliss and connection and understanding. There's this subtlety to it where you don't even need to communicate. You do not need to say anything. It's just felt, it's just known, and it's understood and respected. That is what we need to work for. I mean, we all sit here in this life and we think we've got it good, we've got the house we want, we've got a relationship, we might have children, we've got the perfect job. But really, there's always that sense of emptiness on the inside, which is why people do get obsessed with materialism, with buying things. The ego's always saying, go book a holiday, buy that new apartment, get yourself that new pair of shoes, or if you buy the new iPhone, all these things, you'll feel better. You'll feel that you've had a sense of achievement, you've accomplished something. But no, those are just things that are masking. Yet again, those are putting sort of bandages over all the wounds that you're not prepared to go deep within and look at. We need to go inside. We need to go inward. We need to take that time for self-love and healing and understanding. We need to get to a point where we appreciate what has happened to us, what is happening to us, and then we are open to just allowing the flow of life to come forward in the future and everything to work out beautifully on a deeper, more connected level. So yeah, I mean, I feel even now I'm feeling so much emotion there. I'm feeling there's a lot of worry and anxiety about going through some of that deep inner healing work. But believe me, it is so powerful and it is essential if you wish to ascend to a greater sense of wholeness as a being. Spirit's always ascending, it's always learning. Your higher self isn't just trapped in your body, 24 hours a day. Not at all. It's whizzing around doing wonderful things. It's connecting with people, here in the 3D and the sort of the outer 5D realm, but also in spirit, in higher realms, with everybody and everything, with the universe. And that is wonderful, but let us bring some of that into our daily life, because that is what we desire here more than anything. Deep unity, connection, bonding and love. Don't be afraid of it. Understand that yes, it may feel uncomfortable. There will be parts to it that are going to be uneasy. But have faith, please. Persevere with it. Know that if you can get through that, just imagine that is one step closer to you in the future being that much closer to somebody in the physical, because you will be able to be vulnerable and to step into those sort of ice skates or shoes that allow you to go on the ice comfortably without fear. You will stand on the ice in your power instead of slippy sliding and retracting and pulling back out of fear. You'll just stand confidently and you'll be able to gracefully skate about and just be in that free flowing energy, like a spirit and soul, like who you truly are deep in here. So see it as a step closer to that. Yeah, okay, you might have to put on the most uncomfortable shoes in the world that might really, really hurt, and they're going to give you blisters, and it's going to be like ripping plasters off wounds. But do it, because eventually by doing that, you grow stronger, you understand yourself better, you heal, you progress, and you get to a better position for transition into deeper connections with others. And take your time to do this. You don't have to say, right, this week I'm going to do all this inner healing, shadow work. No, it's a slow journey, it's a slow unfolding. Just do a little bit here and there, and maybe get yourself some questions that you want to ask yourself. And when you're out for a walk in nature, just even if you've got a piece of paper or you've got it in your phone, just ask yourself a question. Give yourself a moment, breathe in that fresh air, and see if you intuitively get an answer from your soul. Because if you're open enough to it and you're allowing that space for self-love and healing, you will receive guidance from your soul. And your soul, it has so much it wants to share. It really, really does. It wants more than anything for you to just be happy and to be true to yourself. So please start removing the layers. Get rid of the mask. Stop pretending. Stop living your life how you feel you should live it and how everybody else feels it. And that's another thing. Everybody's so keen and quick to copy each other because that's the norm, because that's comfortable, because if they're in a position where they look the same as everyone else, or they're buying the same car, or they're doing the same job, or it's all this kind of superficial, mundane, um yeah, we're all good, but really you're not. Yeah, everyone is different, every soul is different, and yes, we come together and create this powerful unity, but there are so many different beautiful fragments that create something that beautiful. It's not just a series of purple dots create this wonderful magical thing. No, we've got all the colors in there, all the different elements that together, when brought together, when really deeply connected, create something powerful. So shine your light, be who you are. Don't be afraid to just go for it and let your hair down. Be your own true self. Be your soul. Let your soul shine through you. Um, and it's another thing. I mean, this is something I've felt since I was a child. I absolutely love my clothes and my jewellery, and it's just something that makes me happy. I've never been a one to sort of dress to impress or wear whatever's going on out there because it's the fashion. I've always been in tune with how I feel on a daily basis. So when you wake up in the morning, just instead of just grabbing the first thing that you pull out your wardrobe and think, yeah, that's all right, put that on, just give yourself a moment to just look at the clothes, to just feel them. And personally, I tune into colours. So some days I'm just in a turquoise mood or a purple mood or a green mood. Sometimes I really surprise myself and I just want black. It depends what I'm feeling in that moment and sort of what level of self and soul I'm willing to show to the world. Some days, I mean, like today, I'm full of colour, I'm feeling radiant, I'm feeling bright, and I just don't care. I'm wearing what makes me happy. Other days I might want to feel just a little bit less obvious and a bit, distant from other people. But tune in with that. Tune in with how you're feeling and what you're actually drawn to in that wardrobe for how it makes you feel. So, say you're looking at a turquoise blouse. Is it making your energy sort of feel excited and bubbly and raring to go and powerful and confident? Is it making you feel a bit flat and a bit sort of lifeless and a bit cold? Tune in with that and wear something that resonates with your emotions and your feeling on that day, because I can guarantee you, if you're feeling sort of good in how you dressed and connected with self, then you're more connected with everybody else as well, because again, you're open to sharing and exchanging your energy, which means you're open to receiving theirs. So if you're going out there saying, like, and I don't mean you're actually saying it, we're not showing off here, and as I say, this is not for the benefit of other people. This is to allow you to get into your own natural flow state where you're being authentic with yourself and your mood and your emotions and your soul on that day. So if you're in a, like, as I say, a turquoise blouse or a dress that just makes you feel happy, you feel energized and just excited, then you're going to put that on and you're going to go out and feel that, and that's your energy. That's what you're opening up to, is happiness and energy and radiance into the world that day. You're going to see everything else that way as well, because that's what you're tuning into, and suddenly other people will pick up on that from you, because that is what you're emitting. You're giving that out. Your heart space is open, your soul is alive, you're being authentic, and they'll see that light and be like, wow, she looks good today, or he's shining brightly, like he's in a great mood. If then, on the other hand, you go for just, I don't know, a brown t-shirt and some black pants because you just can't be bothered, you're just like, yeah, that'll do. You're not giving any sort of real inner feeling there other than that heaviness, that flatness. And okay, that is true because it's valid for how you're feeling on that day, but it is also telling the world that you're closed off, you don't want to connect, you don't want to have that open free flow energy to exchange with them. So I'm just going to stay back here, I'm just going to stay guarded because this is my comfort zone here. I'm protecting myself with these clothes because I'm not feeling open to anything other than that. And yet there will be days when you just do need to do that, don't get me wrong. And if you're feeling a really heavy dark energy, do what makes you feel at ease. Don't push yourself too far. And I know that contradicts what I've just said, but it's a balance. It doesn't have to be every day. I'm just suggesting that every now and again you think about it, you feel it. Tune in with these feelings again on how you are on a particular day. But yeah, so as I'm saying, it's that exchange again. So it's showing other people, and I don't mean it in a, oh, we're looking at what they look like. It's an energy thing. When you put something on that makes you feel that way, regardless of how it looks, because somebody else might look at that turquoise dress or turquoise shirt and think, oh, it's horrible. That's a personal preference and taste and opinion. But it becomes an energy. So if you are wearing something that makes you feel good and confident and in a good vibe, then you will naturally open up that heart space. Your energy barrier will be free and open, and then you yourself come across that way, which is allowing that exchange to open and to move smoothly. Excuse me. I do hope that all made some sense to you. Yeah, please take some time to just feel, to heal, to practice self-love, to get to that space and place of beauty that we all deep down are craving, which is that beautiful understanding and connection without words, just in the silence, just in the stillness, that intimate bond that is felt in here and in the soul. Okay, have a lovely day. Thanks for listening. Bye.